I'm Robert Timmons, and you're watching Weekly Words.
Stop me, oh, somebody stop me, stop me, stop me, please, somebody stop me, oh, somebody stop me, and Lord, if I'm doing it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you for checking out this week's episode. I want to dive right into our discussion, starting off with a story. So a couple of days ago, I was driving home from work, so it's about 4:30, 4:45 or so, and in front of me, it was crazy because it just looked so beautiful. The sky was this very vibrant light blue color. There were some very nice looking clouds in the sky, and you could see part of the sunlight just kind of beaming through it. It was a very pretty sight to see, and I was just thinking to myself, wow, this looks nice. So a couple moments pass, and I am getting over to go to the right lane, and I had to look in my rearview mirror and the side mirror, and I saw the sky behind me. And the sky behind me was very dark and gray. It was very gloomy, and it looked really sad, and it had been storming, and I had forgotten about that because I saw the blue skies ahead. And for a second, I kind of wondered, oh, what does it look like above me? But I said, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. I'm driving away from the storm towards blue skies, so let's go. I want to parallel that to the idea of us not focusing on our past and our past mistakes and our past mess-ups, but focusing on the promise that's ahead of us and working towards that, all right? So in life, no matter who you are, you've messed up, you've sinned, you've made a mistake, you've hurt somebody, you've been hurt, you've been rejected, you've been involved in negativity, regardless of who you are. That's just a part of life, right? So behind us, we have dark days. Behind us, we have the rainy skies, the storm, the gloom, the sorrow, the sadness, the rejection, the frustration, all that. We have that, right? But being a believer of Christ, or being someone who is working towards your purpose, right? The purpose that God has given you, that comes with a promise. And that promise is in front of us. That promise is the blue skies. That promise is the opportunity. The promise is the victory in the future, right? And so lots of times we get sidetracked and we get discouraged and we get distracted by the things behind us, right? We look out the rearview mirror of the car that we're driving, and we see the storm of our mistakes, the storm of our mess-ups behind us. Right? And that deters us from looking ahead towards the promise, towards the goal, towards the vision, towards the fulfillment, right? And I wanted to encourage everybody today who's listening that if you focus on the past, you're not going to be able to move towards your future. So don't focus on the past. Let the past be the past, and take the lesson from the past, take the experience and how it shaped you, how it changed you, and move forward, right? If I would have stopped because behind me was so dark and gloomy, I would have never made it home. But because I was able to focus on the road ahead of me and know that I'm driving towards success, I'm driving towards victory, I'm driving towards blue skies and sunny days, let me keep pressing forward until I get there. And like I said, it didn't really matter where I was in that moment of if the sky above me was gray or if the sky above me was blue, because at the end of the day, I knew I was going towards the blue skies. I was going towards the promise of getting home and being able to take my pants off and go to sleep, or whatever I was doing after work that day. I don't know. But what I'm getting at is that don't let your past mistakes, your past failures, your past whatever, your past rainy days deter you from reaching what is ahead of you. There's a scripture that I want to share with you guys. It's Romans 8:18, and it says, "For I consider that the sufferings of the present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is going to be revealed to us," right? So this scripture is pretty much saying that all the suffering, all the crap that I've been through in the past, all that, the rainy days, all that kind of stuff, it is not going to compare to what is in store for me in my future, right? I definitely want to encourage anybody who's looking for ways to grow in your scripture reading to check out all of Romans. Romans is a great book. And in Romans 8, it's talking about this idea that if we were called to suffer with Christ, then for sure we're going to be called to be able to reap harvest and success with Christ too. And that success is going to be way more abundant than the suffering. Don't focus on the past mistakes and the past mishaps. Focus on the promise that is in front of you, because it's going to be more than you can ask, think, or imagine, right? Keep moving forward. All right, so question time. Just like every other week, I'm going to ask you guys a couple of questions. And again, I encourage you to think through them by yourself and with your accountability partner to see in which ways you can grow and which ways you have been growing since the year has been progressing. All right, so let's get started. Question 1. What past mistakes have been hindering you from moving forward? What past mistakes have been hindering you from moving forward? Question 2. What promise or goal are you working towards? What promise or goal are you working towards? Question 3. How can you hold yourself accountable and keep yourself motivated for working towards that goal? How can you hold yourself accountable and keep yourself motivated into working towards that goal? Thank you for checking out this week's episode of Weekly Words. I pray that you thoroughly enjoyed it and got something positive from it. If you have any suggestions for things for me to talk about in the future, feel free to email me at weeklywordsrt@gmail.com. Again, that's weeklywordsrt@gmail.com. All right, I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you back here next time.
Stop me, oh, somebody stop me, please, somebody stop me, oh, somebody stop me, and Lord, if I'm doing it wrong, then please stop.